What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Olympic gold medalist, 6th division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, in Oscar the Golden Boy Dela Hoya, who is now a promoter and founder of Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar De La Hoya, he jumped on the, or should I say, he jumped in the middle of the rift going back and forth between undefeated 3-division world champion, former undisputed junior welterweight world champion, currently the reigning WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terrence Bud Crawford. 38 wins, no loss, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout, 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach, an undefeated, unified 3-belt WBC, WBA, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 2, if not #1, definitely top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, and Earl the True Spence Jr. Earl Spence Jr. is 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford make for the biggest fight in the sport of boxing that's not happening this year. It's being reported that Errol Spence is going to fight against former unified WBC, WBA welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman, who is 30 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'8" with a 69-inch arm reach, December 17th. And Terrence Crawford is going to face off against Armenian-Russian star title contender, welterweight star title contender, in David Avanesian. They're going to fight December 10th, okay? So David Avanesian is 29 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 17 wins by way of knockout, 34 years of age, 5'8", with a 69-inch arm reach, okay? So David Avanesian and Terrence Crawford, they're going to fight December 10th in Terrence Crawford hometown of Omaha, Nebraska. And Errol Spence is going to fight against Keith Thurman, is being reported December 17th, and possibly in Dallas, Texas at AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium, better known as Jerry World. So with that said, Oscar De La Hoya, they're not going to fight each other next, obviously. And Oscar De La Hoya, he jumped in the middle of the back and forth Twitter rift between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, and he said, you know, he congratulated Terrence Crawford for what he feels like exposing PBC Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Haymon, right, who advises Errol Spence, works for the PBC. And Oscar De La Hoya, he stated that, you know, he's promoted the PBC fights for years, and it's been the same thing over there going on. And now that they're not with him, you know, nothing has changed. The fighters are not their own boss, so on and so forth. Then Oscar De La Hoya, he reveals it, and he says, obviously one of the biggest fights that could be made is Oscar De La Hoya's fighter in undefeated junior welterweight, lightweight Mexican star title contender, King Ryan Garcia. 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 24 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. That's his fighter, Oscar De La Hoya's fighter. And the PBC fighter in undefeated 3-division world champion, superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis is 27 wins, no loss, no draw, 25 wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. Okay, so that's a fight that Ryan Garcia wants, Gervonta Tank Davis wants, and Oscar De La Hoya is saying he wants. Now Oscar De La Hoya is saying that Showtime president of sports, Stephen Espinosa, and obviously he's asked about the questions and the situation between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, and he goes in on the PBC. He says that they want to keep everything in-house over there. They don't want to allow the fighters to venture out and fight other fighters. They want to keep everything in-house, right? Floyd Mayweather, undefeated rival of Oscar De La Hoya, 5-division world champion, superstar, undefeated, Hall of Fame iconic superstar boxer Floyd Mayweather, he said on numerous occasions that we don't have to venture out and make fights outside of what we do because we have the fights in-house. He's on record saying that, and Floyd Mayweather's also on record saying that if you sign to Al Haymon and the PBC, you sign to me as well. That's what Floyd Mayweather had to say, right? Gervonta Tank Davis recently came out and he expressed his frustrations, right? And stated that they messing up over here. It's time for me to make a change. They dropping the ball, right? That's what Gervonta Tank Davis stated. Then he immediately erases the tweets as he always does, right? So Oscar De La Hoya, he's saying that everything is signed, that Tank has signed, Ryan has signed, and everybody has agreed to everything. But now Showtime President of Sports, Steven Espinosa, and Al Haymon are blocking the fight because they want all the rights. Now, Oscar De La Hoya, he has a relationship and a commitment to DAZN streaming that, right? Oscar De La Hoya has a commitment to DAZN. And he's saying that, obviously, Gervonta Tank Davis has a commitment to Showtime and the PBC. And Oscar De La Hoya is saying that they're blocking the fight. They don't want to have the fight come to fruition, that he's frustrated, he's tired of it, you know, and he wants to reveal it. He's going to go live and is going to expose everything if this fight don't get made. So he's saying that if they don't make this fight, that he's going to reveal all the details in the negotiations, and he's going to reveal, you know, how they're blocking the fight. So he says that he's growing tired of it, you know, and that, you know, these fights needs to start being publicly negotiated. I've been saying that for a while. Now, you got to keep in mind, if Oscar De La Hoya does that for this fight, he got to do it for all his fighters. So is that a can of worms Oscar De La Hoya is willing to open? Because it ain't just this fight, right? So it's easy for him to do that when it's this situation, but when the shoe's on the other foot, down the line, when you have Oscar De La Hoya fighting possibly against Jerron Boots Ennis or something of that magnitude, is Oscar De La Hoya going to be willing to so publicly negotiate, right? That's something that Oscar De La Hoya has to think twice about. Now, he's saying that, you know, we know Terence Crawford stated that, you know, let's show the books, let's show the receipts, let's show everything. Errol Spence said, let's show it, you know, told Terence Crawford to do the same. Let's show the drafts, you know, neither one of them going to show any drafts. So I see people are running around talking about Errol Spence pulled Terence Crawford card because Terence Crawford still ain't show the draft, or vice versa. Terence Crawford put Errol Spence card because Errol Spence ain't show. If they wanted to show the draft before they started talking, they would have showed the drafts. They ain't going to show no drafts because it's going to reveal a can of worms that they don't want to open. Okay, it sounds good in a debate because the fans are not going to pay attention. The fans are blinded by one side. The fans are wearing Errol Spence glasses or they wearing Terence Crawford glasses. Okay, period. So they're blinded. So the fans is not going to sit here and understand that they ain't going to show that part of the business. If you think that Terence Crawford is going to show the draft, so you think that Errol Spence is going to show his drafts, because Terence Crawford has to have a idea what, or draft of Errol Spence's, and vice versa. So Errol Spence could easily show what he agreed to, right? Because his contract, now it's going to be slightly different because there's percentages that's different. So their drafts are going to be different. But he had the idea what he agreed to that was sent to, he has to have a receipt of anything that went to Terence Crawford. Has to, because he's agreeing to give Terence Crawford all that, and vice versa, right? So that means that they could both just reveal the drafts. Hey, this is what we sent Terence Crawford, because his team sent it to Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford could easily say, this is what they sent me, right? Terrence Crawford could pull out the receipts and say, hey man, this is what they sent me, and vice versa. They're not going to do that. But the fans will go back and forth debating, talking about, oh, Terrence Crawford had 2 days to show his receipts, or Errol Spence they both had the same amount of time to show the receipts if they wanted to reveal that part of it. Okay? The fans got to start smarting up. You understand? Errol Spence is aware of what they sent Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford is aware of what Errol Spence was receiving. So the revised contract, right? Errol Spence wouldn't speak on the revised contract for Terrence Crawford if he wasn't aware of what was in the contract, or have a copy, or have access to it. Which means he don't have to wait for Terrence Crawford. If he even want to truly say Terrence Crawford was the one that dragged it out and stopped the fight, and he would have revealed it. Just like Errol Spence said, the 3 things that you wanted. He didn't reveal it. He didn't give you detail. He didn't say, oh, you wanted to walk out first, or you wanted, for us to have a certain ring size, or you wanted for us to have the certain referee. He didn't give you details of that. He just said those 3 things that you wanted. He kept it private for a reason. Right? They kept it private for a reason. Right? So then Oscar De La Hoya is saying that if they don't agree with this Gervonta Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight, that he's going to reveal the business. Now, here's my thing. If nobody has anything to hide, including Oscar De La Hoya, then reveal the business to the fans and show who's really, pull out the receipts and show who's really looking to make the fight and who's really not looking to make the fight. Pull out the receipts. If nobody has anything to hide, right, then pull out the receipts. I don't understand what's the hush, what's the secret. Because when it's convenient to brag about what a fighter makes and don't make, and how many sales he does and doesn't do, you conveniently tell that to the fans. Oh, well, we sold 1 million pay-per-views. We did a $5 million gate, and we did, this fighter X is making $30 million. They'll tell you that. So tell us the details of how you got to that point, if it's not a secret. And if they truly making what you say they're making. Nobody's going to do that. So Oscar De La Hoya right now is he's unpredictable, and he's trying to put pressure on them to make this Tank Ryan Garcia fight. A part of me feels like he don't really want to make Ryan Garcia Tank Davis. I think he's kind of relieved that if this is the case, that they're dragging their feet on making this Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight. I believe Oscar De La Hoya has a sign of relief, because he can't control at this point. Ryan Garcia is calling for this fight, and he can't continue to put Ryan Garcia on the back burner, right? He's gonna have to give Ryan Garcia what he wants, because he's being more and more vocal. And I think that Oscar De La Hoya is partly relieved if that is the case, that they're dragging their feet. So he got something to take back to Ryan and say, hey man, they ain't trying to make this fight. Because I think deep down, Oscar De La Hoya knows that Ryan's going to lose to Gervonta Tank Davis. But Ryan Garcia is a big fighter. I was hearing it could be at a catch weight. It's just a lot of confusion in the sport of boxing, man. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.